Hey, my name's Lavi, and I guess this is kind of introduction to my story, my site. When I say story, I mean it's kind of a personal journey as a trans man. I was undergoing my transition to the point where basically I'm content with myself. Now, what a lot of people seem to ask me is, what is a trans male? Basically, trans male is somebody who, say trans male specifically, it is someone who is the mind of a male, but they are born in a female's body. Also, where that basically I reckon speaks for itself. So in order to kind of sort it out, a lot of people undergo various surgery from hormones and everything. It can obviously be you can have trans females where it's from male to female, where they are excuse me they are female in male bodies. And okay, going into a little bit of specifics. I personally myself, as someone who has social dysphoria, where I feel I don't hate my body. The body that I have at this present time is alright, but I want people to see me as a male. I want my body to reflect what my mind says. Then there's that. There's also one called gender dysphoria, where people who have this actually hate their bodies generally. Some people will even self-harm themselves to change it, which isn't particularly good. But some people do have that. So that's the main reason why all the general surgeries are coming, like for breast reductions, like what I'm going to have. And then another question that people seem to ask me is, how do you know that you're trans and not just a butch lesbian? Well, to start off, I knew that something wasn't right all the way back when I was 14. I realised that I was gay, or at least bi at the time, but was too much changed to accept that at that age, so it was a case of trying to put it to the back of my mind. Like, I don't know, kind of a side effect, so to speak. I think now I realise I never felt like a girl since I've remembered, but yeah, 13, 14, 15 sort of area, you're too young to think about that sort of thing consciously. I mean, when I was 15, I started to go out with a guy, and we were together 2 years, pretty much, until the end of last year where we broke up. Up to that point, it helped me suppress these thoughts, like, so back of my mind, thought, if I can, like, put it back, then it's not going to bother me, and it was pretty successful. After becoming single, as I said, to the end of last year, sort of November time, it kind of all came back full force and stronger than before, which is probably what led to me to kind of accept it in February this year. And it was kind of, I sat down, it was actually originally thanks to one mate that I met who was also trans male. Talking through it all, and gradually I just kind of came to accept this sort of thing. And I've actually also taken steps already. Me personally, what I plan to do is start off with hormone treatment in the next few weeks, which I've already actually started having appointments for. I haven't actually started the treatment yet, but I'm being referred, so fingers crossed that's all going to go good. But after that, hopefully, sometime, couple of years, most likely, I'm planning to have top surgery. So I'll have a man chest, which will be a pretty incredible thing to do. It's quite nice to have that. I'm not thinking about bottom surgery. I think that's a lot of effort for something that doesn't bother me. I'm quite happy having female genitalia. Not something, I'll admit, I would have liked to know what it's like to have a penis, and there's a little bit in the back of my mind that says I do want one quite badly, but in the end it's not worth it. It's too much work for something that I'm not like 100% about, and the only way to get surgery, even have hormones, is if you're 100% about it, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do at the end of it. Deep voice, I'll have man chest and everything. That would be pretty interesting. I've got a particular friend called Panda who has decided that he's going to put the last person to touch my boobs before and the first person to touch my man chest after. He's a strange guy, but he's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's actually this kind of channel is the reason why it's here, is specifically for that, where you can kind of see the transformation. My voice slowly gets deeper. That's something that I quite would like to look back at myself. So yeah, so there's a few main things that made me realise that in the end that something wasn't quite right. I think even then, now, especially now, I used to see myself as a guy when I used to look in the mirror. I used to stand there, and I was used to trying to ignore my boobs, put my arms in the way, push them back. It's a case of whenever I used to compare myself as a guy, or I used to compare myself as a guy with another guy, whether it be my shoulders or something. And because I did karate for 2 or 3 years, no, probably say longer than that, can't remember now, from being quite young, I had quite a big build, which helped kind of give me that ideal male figure, because I was very well built up, and then the curves took over. But yeah, I always used to do it with shoulders, my waist, my thighs. My thighs have always been quite masculine, and my shoulders, and they were one of the things I was proud of. And also another thing, no one related to dreams. 90% of the time my dreams, I used to see myself, dream myself as being male. And the other 10% was monsters, various other things that wouldn't be classed as either male or female. You don't really want to, I'm not even going to go into that. The other thing connected to that is the fact that you and I used to wake up in the morning. Just every now and again I used to wake up in the morning, forget that I was actually female in my body. Because, I don't know, it was almost, I used to wake up and there'd be a weird feeling, and I used to grab my crotch to notice it, which was... It's died down now a bit, but at one point I used to have it really, really bad. It was like a torment in the back of my mind.